Roman Reigns just exposed his secret weapon and who's been attacking CM Punk will shock you. The Tribal Chief just revealed the most shocking conspiracy in WWE history, and the identity of the mystery man who's been systematically destroying CM Punk for months proves that Roman Reigns has been orchestrating a campaign of terror from the shadows while maintaining plausible deniability as WWE's champion. Roman didn't just reveal who the attacker is in some casual backstage interview. He called out his secret weapon on live television, explained exactly why he hired this person to eliminate Punk, and made it crystal clear that anyone who threatens bloodline supremacy will face the same brutal fate. Before I break down every detail of Roman's shocking revelation and expose the identity that has the entire wrestling world in absolute chaos right now, answer me this: did you have any idea who Roman's mystery attacker was? Or did this revelation completely blindside you like it did 99% of the wrestling world? Drop your honest reaction in the comments, because what Roman Reigns just unveiled is either the most brilliant long-term storytelling in WWE history or the most convoluted mess that raises more questions than it answers. The Mystery Man storyline had consumed WWE programming for months, with CM Punk being the primary target of brutal backstage attacks that left him hospitalized repeatedly and questioning whether his WWE comeback was worth the physical toll. Every assault followed a similar pattern. The hooded figure would appear when Punk was isolated, inflict maximum damage with whatever weapons were available, then vanish before security could respond or cameras could capture identifying details. The attack seemed personal beyond just eliminating a championship contender, with the Mystery Man targeting Punk's previously injured body parts and using tactics designed to cause career-threatening damage rather than just winning matches. The wrestling world spent countless hours analyzing footage, debating theories, and trying to identify the attacker through body language and fighting style, but Roman Reigns kept the secret locked down tighter than any conspiracy in recent wrestling memory. Roman's decision to reveal his mystery weapon came during a promo segment on Monday Night Raw where the Tribal Chief was addressing his continued dominance and his upcoming championship defenses. Roman stood in the center of the ring with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa, exuding his typical confidence and control as he talked about how no challenger has been able to threaten his reign because he's always 3 steps ahead of everyone who opposes him. Then Roman's tone shifted, becoming darker and more menacing as he transitioned into discussing CM Punk specifically and why the best in the world has been suffering mysterious attacks that nobody could explain or prevent. CM Punk thought he could come back to WWE and just walk into a championship opportunity against me. He thought his name and his past accomplishments meant he deserved to be mentioned in the same breath as the Tribal Chief. So I made a decision months ago to teach him a lesson about hierarchy, about respecting the head of the table, about understanding that you don't challenge the bloodline without facing consequences. Quick question for you: when did you first suspect that Roman was behind the mystery attacks? Comment below, because the clues were there if you knew where to look. The build-up to revealing the Mystery Man's identity was masterful television, with Roman playing with the audience's anticipation and drawing out the moment for maximum impact. Paul Heyman stood beside Roman looking simultaneously proud of his Tribal Chief's strategic brilliance and slightly uncomfortable with how openly Roman was admitting to orchestrating months of violent attacks. Roman continued, "I hired someone to take care of the CM Punk problem. Someone who hates Punk as much as I do. Someone who had their own reasons for wanting to destroy him beyond just following my orders. Someone who's been hiding in plain sight this entire time, and none of you figured it out despite all your theories and speculation. The Mystery Man who's been attacking CM Punk, who's been making his life miserable, who's been trying to end his career before he could challenge me, is someone all of you know. Someone who's been on WWE television for years. Someone whose betrayal is going to hurt Punk worse than any chair shot or physical attack ever could." The music hit, and the Mystery Man walked out from backstage for the final time wearing the signature hood that had become synonymous with fear and chaos throughout WWE. The figure walked slowly down the ramp, building tension with every step as fans tried to guess the identity before the big reveal. When the hooded person reached the ring and stood before Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief himself reached forward and pulled back the hood, revealing the face that sent shockwaves through the arena and across social media. The Mystery Man was Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, Judgment Day member, and someone who had history with CM Punk dating back to various interactions and feuds over the years. The reveal was genuinely shocking because Dominic had maintained his Judgment Day affiliations publicly while secretly working as Roman's hired attacker, creating a conspiracy that crossed faction lines and involved more layers than anyone suspected. Do you think Dominic Mysterio makes sense as the Mystery Man, or does this feel like a reach? Share your immediate reaction in the comments section. Roman's explanation of why he specifically chose Dominic for this role added context that made the choice more understandable even if it remained controversial. According to Roman, Dominic approached the Tribal Chief months ago with a proposition. Dominic wanted revenge on CM Punk for various slights and disrespectful comments Punk had made about the Mysterio family over the years, and he was willing to serve as Roman's weapon in exchange for the Tribal Chief's protection and support. Roman saw an opportunity to eliminate a threat while also gaining leverage over Judgment Day through his secret alliance with one of their members. The arrangement benefited both parties. Dominic got to attack Punk with impunity while Roman got plausible deniability since everyone assumed the bloodline was responsible and nobody suspected cross-faction collaboration. The strategic brilliance of using someone from a completely different stable as his attacker showed Roman's political cunning and willingness to build alliances that served his interests regardless of traditional faction boundaries. Dominic Mysterio's first words as the revealed Mystery Man were delivered with surprising confidence and conviction, showing a side of his character that WWE fans hadn't seen before. Dominic grabbed a microphone and addressed both the crowd and CM Punk directly. CM Punk, you've spent years disrespecting my family, making jokes about my father, acting like you're better than everyone including me. You came back to WWE acting like the conquering hero when really you're just an aging wrestler desperately trying to relive past glory. When Roman approached me about being his Mystery Man, I didn't hesitate. Every attack I made on you was personal. Every injury I caused brought me satisfaction. And I'm not done. Roman gave me a mission to eliminate you as a threat, and I won't stop until that mission is complete and you're either gone from WWE or broken so badly that you'll never challenge the tribal chief for his championship. Can you remember specific instances where CM Punk disrespected the Mysterio family? Comment what you know because that history adds legitimacy to Dominic's motivation. The Judgment Day's reaction to learning one of their members had been secretly working with Roman Reigns created immediate questions about whether the entire faction knew about Dominic's side arrangement or whether he'd been operating independently without their knowledge or approval. Damian Priest and Finn Balor appeared later in the show looking genuinely shocked and angry about the revelation, suggesting Dominic had kept his Roman alliance secret even from his Judgment Day family. Rhea Ripley's reaction was more ambiguous, with some observers suggesting her facial expressions indicated she might have known about Dominic's activities, raising the possibility that multiple Judgment Day members could be compromised by secret bloodline connections. The paranoia and distrust this creates within Judgment Day could lead to the faction's implosion or could strengthen them if they unite against Dominic's betrayal and Roman's manipulation. CM Punk's response to learning Dominic Mysterio was his attacker came via a furious video promo from his hospital bed where he was recovering from the latest assault. Punk looked genuinely enraged as he addressed both Dominic and Roman. Dominic Mysterio, Ray's kid. The guy I watched grow up in this business and who I thought had potential despite being handed opportunities because of his family name. You attacked me from behind wearing a mask because you knew that face to face, you're not on my level and you never will be. And Roman, you cowardly piece of garbage, you hired a child to do your dirty work because you're too scared to face me yourself. Both of you just made the biggest mistake of your careers. When I'm cleared to return, I'm coming for both of you with everything I have. Dominic, I'm going to embarrass you so badly your father will disown you. And Roman, I'm taking the championship and ending your historic reign in the most humiliating way possible. Do you think CM Punk can actually defeat both Roman and Dominic, or has he bitten off more than he can chew? Let me know your prediction in the comments. The family implications of Dominic being revealed as Punk's attacker add emotional weight given Rey Mysterio's legendary status and his complicated relationship with both CM Punk and his son. Rey appeared backstage looking devastated as he processed the news that his son had been attacking CM Punk for months under Roman's direction. Rey's statement showed a father torn between loyalty to his son and recognition that what Dominic did was wrong. I don't know what to say. Dominic is my son and I'll always love him, but what he did to CM Punk, attacking him repeatedly from behind, that's not how I raised him and that's not the kind of wrestler I hoped he'd become. Punk and I have had our differences over the years, but he didn't deserve to be targeted like this. I need to talk to Dominic and understand why he made these choices and whether there's any way to fix the damage he's caused to his reputation and his relationships. The potential for a Rey vs. Dominic match over this situation creates compelling storyline possibilities if WWE chooses to explore that family conflict. Paul Heyman's visible discomfort throughout this revelation suggested the Wiseman might not have been fully informed about Roman's arrangement with Dominic, or he disapproved of the choice to use someone from outside the bloodline for such sensitive operations. Heyman's influence over Roman has appeared to wane in recent months as the tribal chief has become more independent in his decision-making and more willing to take actions without consulting his longtime advisor. The Dominic revelation might represent a breaking point where Heyman questions whether he can continue advising someone who keeps making strategic decisions without his input and who's willing to create complicated cross-faction alliances that could backfire spectacularly if they're not managed carefully. What do you think Paul Heyman should do? Stay loyal to Roman despite disagreeing with his methods, or start looking for a new client? Share your thoughts in the comments section. The evidence that emerged supporting Roman's claims about hiring Dominic included video footage of secret meetings between the two men in various locations over the past months, text messages coordinating attack timing and targets, and financial records showing payments from bloodline-connected accounts to Dominic. The thoroughness of the documentation suggested Roman had been preparing for this revelation and wanted undeniable proof that would prevent Dominic from denying his involvement or claiming he was being framed. The public exposure of this evidence destroyed Dominic's credibility and made it impossible for him to maintain his previous character positioning, forcing a complete reinvention of how he's perceived by fans and how he operates going forward. The backstage reaction among WWE's roster has been chaotic, with wrestlers expressing everything from shock to anger to grudging admiration for the complexity of Roman's conspiracy. Some performers are furious that Dominic was allowed to repeatedly attack a colleague without facing immediate consequences, arguing that WWE's failure to stop the attacks despite multiple investigations suggests management incompetence or complicity. Others are impressed by Roman's strategic thinking in using someone from a different faction to eliminate threats while maintaining distance from the actual violence. A third group is scared, recognizing that if Roman can manipulate Dominic into betraying his own faction and attacking people on Roman's orders, nobody is truly safe from the tribal chief's reach and influence. The political calculations happening throughout the locker room will reshape alliances and storylines for months to come. The fan reaction to Dominic being revealed as the mystery man has been mixed, with opinions sharply divided about whether this was a satisfying payoff to months of build-up. Some fans loved the unexpected nature of the reveal, appreciating that WWE chose someone most people hadn't seriously considered rather than going with an obvious choice like a returning legend or current main eventer. Critics argue that Dominic doesn't have the credibility to be positioned as someone capable of repeatedly destroying CM Punk, and that the reveal diminishes the mystery man's intimidation factor by revealing it with someone fans generally view as a mid-card performer rather than a legitimate threat. The debate about whether this was brilliant storytelling or disappointing execution will continue for weeks as WWE either validates the choice through strong booking or confirms critics' concerns through weak follow-up. What's your honest assessment? Brilliant reveal or disappointing choice? Let me know in the comments. The long-term implications for all parties involved create numerous potential storylines and character directions. Dominic has been forced to choose between his Judgment Day family and his alliance with Roman, with both relationships now complicated by the public revelation. CM Punk has multiple targets for his revenge, including both Dominic and Roman, creating opportunities for various match types and stipulations. The Judgment Day faces internal crisis as they decide how to handle Dominic's betrayal and whether to maintain, expel, or punish him. Roman's willingness to make deals outside the bloodline suggests his empire might expand to include non-family members, changing the faction's fundamental identity. Each thread offers rich storytelling possibilities if WWE commits to following through rather than dropping elements after the initial reveal. So here's my final question, and I want honest opinions from every type of fan. Is Dominic Mysterio being revealed as Roman's mystery attacker a satisfying payoff that justifies months of build-up, or is it a disappointing choice that undermines the storyline's credibility and wastes CM Punk's return momentum? And regardless of how you feel about the reveal, what should happen next? Should Dominic face Punk one-on-one to settle this, or should this build toward a larger match involving Roman, Punk, Dominic, and potentially others? Get in those comments right now and share your perspective, because the mystery has been solved but the story is just beginning, and where WWE takes it from here will determine whether this becomes a legendary angle or a forgotten mess that everyone wishes had been handled differently.